everybody.
And I hope you enjoyed the intermission. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yep, gotta make some popcorn.
Yes. So before we get into this, let's make sure we have something clear. There's one black pin right here.
So we didn't have enough.
That's right. But this one black pin represents 51 congregations dissolved since our last nail in the coffin, which was back in October.
October 25th.
Yes. And then these 20 silver pins right here represents kingdom halls and branches that have gone up for sale.
Or gone.
Yes. So I guess without any further ado,
Yes.
we're going to let Kim read off the names.
So I want to thank everybody so much who has been sending me all of this information. My goodness, I couldn't do it without you. And it's taken me 3 weeks to get all of this put together. And as you can tell and see, it was so long that we actually had to break it into 2 different videos.
Yes.
So, there's one congregation in Tucson that we know of on the Flores and North 10th Avenue Kingdom Hall. One congregation for sure, and the Kingdom Hall isn't up for sale, but we have heard it is going up for sale. But we're going to count one congregation because that's all the info we have at this time. All right. We got New Zealand. Now, some of these countries, as I've explained before, they have a charity registry that you can go and you can put in Jehovah's Witnesses and you can get details. And when it says deregistered, that means for some reason it's no longer registered. But if you look here on the screenshot, they always tell you why it has been revoked or deregistered. This particular one is the Papakura Samoan Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auckland, and the entity was removed from the Charities Register under Section 32(1)B of the Charities Act because it failed to file annual returns as required by Section 41 of the Charities Act. Now, usually when Watchtower does that and just lets it elapse or whatever you want to call it, it's because they don't want to renew it because they're about the congregation. So we're going to go ahead and count that one. Okay, the Wangari Central Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, deregistered, and this one says that it is merging or has merged with another registered charity. So see, they always tell you why. The Weymouth Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auckland, the charity is closing down permanently or has closed down as of January 10th, 2019. The New Lynn Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auckland, this charity is closing down permanently or has closed down.
So we want to keep in mind, friends, that at least when you and I were Jehovah's Witnesses, they needed at least 100 plus Jehovah's Witnesses per congregation, 120, 130 before they would consider splitting. Then the talks would start, and then then the Kingdom Hall would split so that you'd have 2 congregations of anywhere from 60 to 80, usually around 80. You got to keep in mind that every one of these Kingdom Halls, that congregations that are merging, they're losing potentially 60 to 80 JWs.
Now, we did a video a while back where a circuit overseer had told the elders that if your meeting attendance falls below 50 for 6 months' time, then your congregation is gone.
Yep.
So that may be the rule earthwide. I don't know, but that's, what we were told. Okay, the Mount Roskill Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auckland. This charity is merging or has merged with another registered charity. So another congregation gone. Mount Albert Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auckland. This charity is closing down permanently or has closed down. The Unsworth Heights Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Auckland. This charity is merging or has merged with another registered charity. Now I went into the Australian charity register also. And there's actually a Facebook group that someone sent me the link to some of these congregations, because they are keeping a running total now in Australia of congregation and kingdom halls dissolving, closing, and kingdom halls going up for sale. But the Hastings Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Hastings, Victoria, Australia, as of April 1st, 2019, the Mudgeeraba Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, as of October 1st, 2019 in Queensland, Gonzo. Robinvale Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, Victoria, May 1st, 2019, gone. The WEPA, it's W-E-I-P-A Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Rocky Point, Queensland, May 1st, 2019, gonzo.
Oh, I'm sure glad this organization is growing by leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah. Wishart Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses, Upper Mount Gravett, Queensland, as of May 1st, 2019, gone. Albany West Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses, Sentinel Park, Wales, June 1st, 2019, gone. Mackay, M-A-C-K-A-Y, Mackay, East Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses in Glenella, Queensland, Australia, October 1st, 2019, gone. Mount Lofty Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses in Mount Barker, SA, that's probably South Australia, May 1st, 2019, gone. Gonna take a nap there, dude?
I might take a nap.
Just sit back and take a nap. Oxford Falls Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses, DY, New South Wales, November 1st, 2019, gone. Spears Point Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses, Warners Bay, November 1st, 2019, gone. So, that's 10 in Australia just since this past summer. Well, I think the earliest one I mentioned was April. So since April 1st, there's been 10 congregations gone.
Yes, and just so that everybody also recognizes that Kim has also made up a list, and she double checks all these kingdom halls and or congregations that are merging or dissolved, so that we're not repeating anything in here.
Yeah, it's another reason it takes me so long to go through.
Yeah.
Okay, the Pennsbury, Pennsylvania congregation is closed, and effective January 5th, 2020, they are being moved to the Penny Hill, Wilmington, Delaware congregation in Wilmington, Delaware. Boy, Pennsylvania has just been losing a lot of congregations. Okay, our congregation just merged October 1st. The Kenai, K-E-N-A-I, and Soldotna, Alaska have merged into one congregation and is just now the Soldotna congregation. So we're going to count that as one congregation gone. Okay, Downtown Tucson congregation, as of January 5th, 2020, merged with the Pueblo Tucson congregation, or will be. There was a lot of congregations on jw.org that as of January are going to be dissolved and merging with other congregations.
Yep.
Look at this stack of papers, guys. Well, you can see, 51. Okay, the Flowing Wells congregation as of December 1st, 2019, merged with the congregation on Wetmore in Tucson, Arizona. All right. Thank you, sweetie, for sending me an email that 3 congregations dissolved in London, Ontario, Canada. I found some more. There's actually 5. It's like, now stop and think about that for a minute, guys. London, Ontario. I don't know how big of a city it is. They had several kingdom halls, but they've lost 5 congregations that I know of just recently. Just recently. London Congregation Number 1 merged into the Westmount, London, Ontario, effective January 1st, 2020. London Congregation Number 2 is going to merge into the Westminster Park, London, Ontario, effective January 1st, 2020. London Congregation Number 3 will merge effective January 1st, 2020 into the Trafalgar, London, Ontario, Kingdom Hall. London Congregation Number 4, Lyndhurst, St. Thomas, Ontario, effective January 5th, 2020. And London Congregation Number 5 will merge January 1st, 2020 into the Northwood, Woodstock, Ontario, Canada Congregation or Kingdom Hall.
Business must be poor for the Jehovah's Witness religion these days, huh?
I know. The Lansdowne Congregation in Ontario, Canada has been dissolved and has now been sent to the Pineview, Brockville, Ontario Kingdom Hall or Congregation. The Elk Valley Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Sparwood, British Columbia, their charity status has been revoked on the Canada Charity site, but on jw.org, their congregation has been dissolved and effective January 1st, 2020 is being sent to Fernie, British Columbia, Fernie. So, another one bites the dust. I've been singing that a lot lately, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
Okay, the Sabina Canyon Congregation as of January 1st, 2020 in Tucson, Arizona is merging into the Tanque Verde Creek Congregation, Tucson, Arizona, and the Catalina Foothills Congregation. So it looks like they split it between the 2 congregations. So the Sabino Canyon, gone. And if you guys want to check these, any of your like old Kingdom Halls or something, just keep going to jw.org and click on About Us and then click on Meetings. And then it says find a location near you and just put in the town that you want to check on, and it will give you a list of congregations, because there's several I keep an eye on. Okay, the West Congregation in Tucson, Arizona is being sent to the Sentinel Peak Congregation effective January 5th, 2020. Isn't this terrible? They're just growing by leaps and bounds. All right, the Edmonton Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, the University Unit in Alberta, Canada, their charity status as of October 12, 2019, is revoked, and on jw.org it looks like they're being merged into the Parkdale Congregation. Okay, the College Park Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, as of November 23rd, 2019, was dissolved, and they are being sent to the Lakeview, Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, it's all French to me.
You're supposed to be part French and know these words.
Parlez-vous français? 10 minutes.
All right. The Adelaide Park Congregation in Saskatoon, Canada, has been dissolved, and they are being sent to City Park, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, in Canada. That's Adelaide Park. And they're also it's being divided between the City Park congregation and the Kensington congregation. So we're going to count that as one congregation gone. Doesn't matter if they divide them between the two. It's still one congregation gone.
That's right, one gone.
Okay, the Barkington Passage in Nova Scotia has been dissolved and are being sent to Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, as of November 23rd, 2019. And their charity status is gone too. Okay. Now I got this email and they said that the Kingdom Hall at 568 North Oceana Drive, Hart, Michigan just sold. Now I haven't been able to find the property listing, so we're not going to count the Kingdom Hall quite yet. But we are going to count a congregation because the Hart, Michigan congregation has been dissolved and they're being sent to the Ludington, Michigan, Ludington, Michigan congregation now. So we'll keep an eye on waiting for the property listings, but it's at least one congregation gone. Okay, the Gregory, Michigan congregation dissolved October 1st, 2019, and they're being sent 30 miles away, one way, to Chelsea, Michigan. Now think about Michigan and their winters. We lived in Wisconsin for 6 years. You don't want to be traveling, especially at night, 30 miles one way during the winter.
Well, forget the winter. What about the damn deer?
Oh yeah, the deer running out in front of you is a hazard.
Yes, we know. Been there, done that. Excuse me, been there, experienced that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you, sweetie, for letting me know that their old Kingdom Hall sold to developers. And so this is not only a congregation, but we'll have to add one more pin for the Kingdom Hall being sold. But the Westvale congregation merged into the Sowerby Street Kingdom Hall in the United Kingdom, and the Kingdom Hall was sold to developers, and now they are called the Kingsvale Apartments, and you can buy one for 110,000 pounds each.
Holy apartment, Batman.
Okay, the Mesa congregation merging into Colorado Springs, effective January 1st, 2020. So Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, I wonder if that's the congregation where my buddy Mike goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, I went to Pioneer School. Please, Mike, if that's your congregation, feel free to let us, know, call us, please.
Yeah.
I won't shun you in this conversation like, you shun us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the Falcon congregation in Colorado, Peyton, Colorado, effective January 1st, 2020, is being sent to Colorado Springs. The Kingdom Hall on Ponca Road, Ponca. Anyway, and then the one bites the dust. Okay, the Acacia congregation has been dissolved, and the Kingdom Hall is to be sold in. They are being moved to the Colorado Springs congregation on Buckingham Drive. So, there's a lot of them.
Yep.
Lawrenceburg, Kentucky congregation dissolved just 3 weeks ago, and the hall is to be sold. But the Lawrenceburg, Kentucky congregation is being sent to Versailles, Kentucky. Versailles, yeah. Okay, Jackson congregation dissolved and sent to the congregation in Beattyville, Kentucky. So Jackson, Kentucky congregation has been dissolved and they're being sent to Beattyville, Kentucky. Okay, the Paris, Kentucky congregation has been dissolved and they are being sent now to Spring Valley, Lexington, Kentucky. At what point will the Jehovah's Witnesses look around and say, wait a minute, what's happening to all of the people in the kingdom halls and congregations? I mean, really, at what point?
When the volcano explodes and does away with Warwick altogether. Who knows? When the Earth tilts and the oceans swallow up New York and New England, who knows? I mean, inquiring minds want to know. But at the same time, like when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, a lot of times we just walked around in a daze.
Yeah, gotta get out in service. Can't
Yeah.
focus on anything else but getting
Yeah.
out in service. Oneida, Tennessee, dissolved and sent to Barberville, Kentucky, in Hendrick, Kentucky. So it's the Barberville congregation in Hendrick, Kentucky. Jeffersonville, Indiana, it's been dissolved and they've been merged with the West Downtown Louisville, Kentucky congregation. LaSalle, New York congregation has been dissolved and merging into the Niagara Falls, New York. Oh, that one's effective January 1st, 2020.
I've been there once. Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah?
Once.
I never have. Okay, Kingfisher, Oklahoma congregation has been dissolved and they are merging January 1st, 2020 with the Westlake, Oklahoma City Kingdom Hall. Blaine County, Oklahoma congregation has been dissolved and they are being sent to the El Reno, Oklahoma Kingdom Hall now. The Price Hill, Cincinnati, Ohio congregation has been dissolved and now they are being sent to the West Cincinnati, Ohio Kingdom Hall. Okay, the Cheviot, Ohio congregation has been dissolved and merged into the Grandview, Cincinnati, Ohio Kingdom Hall on Northern Boulevard. All right, now we're going to start the Kingdom Halls and branches up for sale. Okay, now first I want to, we're going to count the Russia branch because it appears Watchtower has lost the appeal and at this point they've seized Watchtower's property. So we're going to go ahead and count that branch. And then someone sent me an email and said 300 1 Avenue West in Kindersley, Saskatchewan, Canada is up for sale. They recently built a new Kingdom Hall, but this one's up for sale. But I could not find the property listing for that one. So if anybody knows where I can find that one. Okay, the 64 Charles Street, Triabunna, Tasmanian Kingdom Hall has just been sold for $355,000 plus the GST. Now, I want to thank, he wanted me to call him Sweetie.
Sweetie.
Thank you, Sweetie, so much because he drives truck for a living and he was going by on the freeway in Germantown, Wisconsin and saw this Kingdom Hall up for sale. When he got home, he got in his car and drove over 100 miles one way just to get us pictures. He says, Kimmy, I know you like to see the for sale sign, so thank you. We appreciate it so much. My goodness.
Yes.
But this is in Wisconsin, it would be North 120, West 215,000, Freestadt Road, Germantown, Wisconsin.
I wonder how many current JWs are willing to travel 100 miles just to go preaching for a day.
I mean, that was awesome. I mean, just to get me pictures. Wow.
Yeah, incredible.
And that Kingdom Hall is up for sale for $579,000.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yep. All right. 9844 Scully Road, Tonawtosasa, Florida. $325,000. Thank you, Nellie, so much. She's on Christmas vacation with her kids, and she takes time out to send me this. So thank you, sweetie.
Yep, thank you.
And Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and we appreciate you taking time out of your time with your kids to send us that. All right, now this just sold, this Kingdom Hall. Let's see, address, Sleeps Hyde, Oaks Cross, Stevenage, UK, just sold for £350,000. 401 Green Street, Tremont, Pennsylvania. We did one pin for the congregation on this already because we didn't have any info on it. We didn't know how many congregations or any, so we did one pin for the congregation. But now we're going to do a pin for the Kingdom Hall up for sale for $200,000.
Another one in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. 72 Presidente Sarmiento Longchamps. This is Buenos Aires, Argentina. $95,000. 6221 97th Street, Osoyoos. Osoyoos. I know I'm probably slaughtering that. British Columbia, Canada. $499,900. 3086 East Apple Avenue, Muskegon, Michigan. And the name sounded familiar, so I definitely checked my list on this one. But another Kingdom Hall was sold in Muskegon, Michigan, but it was not this one on Apple Avenue. It was a different address. So that's two now, recently in Muskegon, Michigan. Okay, 21 Crestview Drive, Manchester, Kentucky. Just sold April 2nd, 2018 for $155,000. 625 North Polk Avenue, Walsenburg, Colorado. Pending. Sale is pending. $224,900. 315 North 5th Street, Osborne, Idaho. $275,000. 2723 East Line Road, Searcy. It's Searcy, Arkansas. Just sold August 20th, 2019 for $280,000. 68 Laughlin Street, Kingston, Queensland, Australia. Sold October 15th, 2019. No price on that one. 10 Bowden Drive, Bridgewater, Tasmania. Sold for $565,000. 5 to 7 Irwin Road, Embleton, Wales. Sold December 22nd, 2017 for $2,175,000 in Australia. P. Mr. Dreef, 22. It's the Netherlands. Just sold for 335,000, looks like euros. Yeah, it's Peymeesterdreef. I know I slaughtered that one too.
I'm pretty sure I would have also.
Arboga just sold. Now I had to translate this, but it says that Watchtower's old facility, their former premises. Now, from the picture, it looks like it's huge. So I don't know if it was an assembly hall or a branch, because it does not say in this article. But they sold it for 80 million Swedish krona in May. So thank you, Trevor, for all the information. He has sent us a lot of information also. Now the Vienna, Austria branch sold on 52 Barik gas. But there's no price, and I don't know when it was sold. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And
on behalf of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, more closely the 8 governing idiots, the 8 governing wingnuts, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for your absolute stupidity, your absolute gullibility, because we got to get you, friends, ourselves included, to donate your free labor, donate your money in the buildings of these Kingdom Halls and branch buildings so that we can turn around and sell them at a 100% profit with zero outlay of cash so that we can profit 100%. How do you love our God Jehovah?
Well, it's really sad. You know, I don't think it's that funny. I think it's really sad, you know, that they have taken all everybody's money and energy and everything. And even to this day, you know, they're still trying to pressure the older ones to, you know, do their power of attorney, you know, to give everything to Watchtower. So I think the whole thing is disgusting. And I would love to see the IRS here in the United States investigate them for all of these shenanigans that they're pulling.
Wait for it. It just might happen. Who knows what, you know, Mike and Kim and a few others have been working on behind the scenes.
So since the battery is running out on our camera, we're going to say we hope you all have a wonderful and safe New Year's.
Yes.
And don't overindulge and drive.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. Get a Uber or something. Don't drive. Be safe. And thank you everyone for a wonderful year. And we look forward to another Coffin lid. And
Oh, that's right. I got to get home and make one now, don't I? I totally forgot all about that. Yeah, I guess I better get busy.
So we're going to fill, you know, the new one up this time. And so if you know of anybody who's not on the Coffin lid yet, let us know. So we love you all, and you have a great rest of the year.
Bye.